Today, I will introduce legislation in the House of Commons to close a loophole in the Canada Labour Code that allows employers to use outside managers as replacement workers to break strikes during strikes and lockouts. I'm very proud of my caucus colleagues, as this is the third consecutive week in a row that we have introduced legislation to strengthen unions in Canada and also to support workers. 2 weeks ago, my colleague Leah Gazan introduced a bill that would eliminate Section 107 from the Canada Labour Code, a provision that has been misused by the Liberal government 8 times to break strikes. Last week, my colleague Heather McPherson introduced a bill that would prohibit employer-friendly unions who so horribly misrepresent workers in this country. And this week, I have my bill that I'm introducing this afternoon. As Avi said, in the last Parliament, New Democrats forced the Liberals to finally deliver what workers have been demanding for decades: federal anti-scab legislation. This was a major step forward to ensure fairness in collective bargaining and to protect workers' rights. But that protection is being violated in practice. When employers are able to bring in managers from other locations to perform the work of striking or locked out employees, it distorts the balance of power at the bargaining table, and it undermines the very purpose of anti-scab laws. It also prolongs disputes that should be resolved through good faith negotiations. We saw this clearly in the recent Rogers strike in Abbotsford, a picket line that I happened to be visiting when I became aware of this loophole, where technicians were on the picket line for more than 4 months, while managers from other regions were brought in to perform their work. We will hear more about the impact of this from Mr. Warren and Mr. Phillips. But one thing is clear: no worker should have their right to strike undermined in this way. When workers withdraw their labor, a constitutional right in this country, the law must stop employers from replacing them, period. I also want to make a brief comment on safety. When you reduce the length of strikes or lockouts, you also reduce the chance of picket line violence, something that I have personally witnessed when I worked for 16 years with the Teamsters Union prior to being elected. This loophole makes a mockery of Canada's hard-won anti-scab legislation, and it must be closed. This bill will do exactly that. So I want to thank Avi Lewis, our leader, for being such a strong backer of this legislation and of unions and workers generally, and all my caucus colleagues. And I urge all members of Parliament who claim to stand with workers and unions and all those who believe in free and fair collective bargaining to support this critical legislation.